Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to design some t-shirts for random businesses. So I'm just going to go into Google Maps and do the first one I see. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe because I'm trying to hit 100k. Also, I will share the mockups that I use for t-shirts if this video reaches 500 likes. But with that being said, let's get right into it. Right, so here we are in Google Maps, and let's see. You can pick country. Let's pick the US, and we can do Philadelphia. And let's see if we can find a random business. Alright, so let's do Stark's Bakery. That's the first one I saw. So the first t-shirt design I'm making is for a bakery in Philadelphia. The bakery itself seems a bit old school, so I decided to keep it kind of simple in terms of design, but I decided to spice it up a little bit with the font, make it more like enjoyable and funky. Because when doing merch design, I believe typography is really important, so don't be afraid to spend some time to get it right. So for my text, I went with the font Shriek Hand, a fun but still a sans serif, I believe it's called. Like, you know, that Times New Roman look. I also added a little bit of a curve to it to stretch over the back, and then I wanted to find something that would represent the bakery. So my first thought was a cake, so I just browsed Google for a bit to find a nice cake image, and I will show you later how I achieved this really cool like vintage and worn effect. It's really easy, but there are some key things that you need to keep in mind. And then I just finished off the back of a t-shirt with some useful information to promote the business, because that is probably the main reason business invest into merch, to promote the brand. So I added phone number and address and etc. Then I also switched up the font for a little variation. Then I also put a rounded border using the rounded ellipse tool to really emphasize the address, because your potential customers need to know where to look. Right, so that will do it for the back, so let's turn around and do the front. So I want to keep the front really simple, but I just didn't want it to be use a text. So what I did was that I found another item to represent the bakery, and since I already have done a cake, my second thought was a nice bread loaf. My thought was to wrap the text around it so it would focus on the bread and the brand in that sort of way. And I think it turned out really great. A really cool vintage but also modern vibe to it. So now I'm going to show you how to do the main two tricks that I used to create this design. Yeah, let's get right into it. So now I'm just going to show you how I did the effect for the cake, and it's really simple. Just grab any color you want. I chose a blue, so let's do blue again. And then you just go into the adjustment layers and you choose threshold. Make sure it's a clipper mask. And then you just need to adjust the threshold level to get the desired effect. So you slide it right or left. Kind of here it gets like kind of a clip art look, but also like a vintage kind of like retro theme. Then you just need to make a new layer and cover it with blue, something like that, and then use the blending mode lighten, and there you go. So what you want to keep in mind is that you want to find an image with a lot of texture already in detail, which will really enhance the effect. Great, so now I'm going to show you how I did the text. So you just want to grab the ellipse tool, press down shift to get a perfect circle, and you want to remove both the stroke and the fill, so you just get like a shape. And then you just grab the text tool and you hover over the line, and you can see that we have this like swirly text tool, and you just type out whatever you want. And then you can of course adjust the size and all that. So it's really easy, and you can use it for whatever you want. Great. So we're done Stock's Bakery. Let's see if we can find another one. So to zoom out, so you can pick another country. Let's do Sweden and Stockholm, of course. And yes, we can do Flippin' Burgers, a really good burger restaurant. So yeah, let's design a t-shirt for Flippin' Burgers. So I start off by just grabbing the logo, but I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just move on to typography. So the main font I used for this design was Republican Minor, a really bold font. And to kind of break it off, I used this like old school typewriter font for the burgers text. And just like the first t-shirt design I did for the bakery, I decided to grab a cool image to like represent the business. And of course I chose a nice burger. And I also did the same threshold effect that I just showed you, which in my opinion works really great when designing t-shirts. But it didn't feel so complete. It felt like it was like floating around in space. So what I did, I just made a box with a gradient and a bit of noise, and that kind of like boxed it in and framed it really nice. You can see in the end it will look a little bit better. So all we got left is to add some useful information, and for that I used the same font as earlier. And I won't go into detail on how to create the Stockholm text effect, because I already have a tutorial on it. You can find it in the right corner if you're interested. And that pretty much sums up the back of the t-shirt, so let's move on to the front. So for the front, I could make it really easy for myself and just add their logo as it is, but I want to make something myself. So basically what I did was I grabbed the text, and then I just wanted to put a pair of burger buns in between, so we get like a burger text. Yeah, you get the idea. I thought it was fun at least, and it's really easy to do. You just grab the ellipse tool and you just cut it out where the text should be and try to make it look like a burger. And that is good to complete the t-shirt design for Flippin' Burgers. And that is also going to complete this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please leave a like. And this video was just to show you that you can grab any random business if you want to practice on how to making merch. And when it comes to the merch design, be sure to focus on the typography and then add something that reflects the brand or the business. So in my case, I used the cake and the bread, and I also used the burger for the burger restaurant. But also remember to be creative. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.